I got an email yesterday telling me about the proposed New York State law, Assembly Bill A416, New York, which calls for the removal of cases, contacts, and carriers of communicable diseases who are potentially dangerous to public health. Listen to this bill. To me, this is a scary thing. Quote, upon determining by clear and convincing evidence that the health of others is or may be endangered by a case, contact, or carrier, or suspected case, contact, or carrier of a contagious disease that, in the opinion of the governor, after consultation with the commissioner, may pose an imminent and significant threat to the public health resulting in severe morbidity or high mortality, the governor or his or her delegee, including but not limited to the commissioner or the heads of local departments, may order the removal and or detention of such a person or of a group of such persons by issuing a single order identifying such persons either by name or by a reasonably specific description of the individuals or group being detained. Such person or group of persons shall be detained in a medical facility or other appropriate facility or premises designated by the governor or his or her delegee and complying with subdivision 5 of this section. A person or group of persons removed or detained by order of the governor or his or her delegee pursuant to subdivision 2 of this section shall be detained for such a period and in such manner as the department may direct in accordance with this section. Period. Unquote. What this sounds to me like is if the governor says, I'm suspicious that someone has a disease that might be dangerous or communicable, that the governor has the authority, according to this bill, to arrest them, to put them in a detention center of his choosing for a period of time that is his choosing. And it doesn't even have to be a confirmed case. It can even be a suspicious case. Now, to me, this is scary because that's how Solzhenitsyn ended up in the Gulag. You know, this is how Hitler rose to power. This is how Stalin ran the USSR. And it seems to me New York State is giving their governor, who is Andrew Cuomo, the authority to be this kind of tyrant, this totalitarian, as we've seen in other history. Well, Solzhenitsyn, we think he's mentally ill, we're going to put him in the Gulag. Well, Cuomo would have the authority to remove such a person or group of persons and put him or her or them in a facility of his choosing for a length of time of his choosing. This is the guy who legalized infanticide in New York, Andrew Cuomo. This is the guy who sent COVID-infected elderly people back into the nursing homes and scored the highest COVID deaths of any state. This is the guy who legalized paid surrogacy, renting out women's wombs to the highest bidder. This is the guy who mandated $100 million of taxpayer money to pay for political campaigns, whether they support those political campaigns or not. The taxes of New Yorkers, can pay for political campaigns of candidates they don't support. And now the state leaders want to give him totalitarian control. Just imagine a hypothetical situation. A Republican is running for office, and he comes back inside of New York for a trip, the governor could say, I'm suspicious that this person may be contagious. He could have the police arrest him and confine him in an undesignated location for an unspecified amount of time. Wow. This sounds like tyranny to me. It sounds like totalitarianism, making Andrew Cuomo the king of all he surveys. To me, my opinion, this is sick. This is wrong. This is giving too much power to a governmental leader in what is supposed to be a democratic republic. Second thing, it's giving this kind of power to Governor Andrew Cuomo, who, in the opinion of many, myself included, is morally bankrupt. This is an insult to the people of New York and a deleterious precedent for the rest of the country. Now, suppose if other state legislatures give this kind of power to other governors, what is happening here? To me, this is frightening, a frightening development. Further down the line of everything we've seen this past year. So in the spirit of John the Baptist, I speak against the immorality of Andrew Cuomo and all who are like him. In the spirit of John the Baptist, I prophetically repudiate his policies and particularly giving him this kind of discretionary, loosely defined power. Judah had a king named Manasseh, and the Bible says he did evil in the eyes of the Lord, following the detestable practices of the nations. In Isaiah chapter 1, Isaiah repudiates all such governmental leaders and says that the Lord is against them. And my application of that, so should the church be. So should the church be, all who perpetuate such evil. People like this need to be voted out of office as quickly as possible. This is nothing but ruinous to our nation.